So most recently, Elon Musk was at the Tesla Shareholder Meeting, Annual Meeting, and there were some interesting tidbits of information that he mentioned. Namely, of course, the Cybertruck is going to be taking yet a little bit longer than we initially thought that it would. So if you've signed up online waiting on the wait list, you might have to wait a little bit longer. I'll get more into that in this video. Also, we're likely to be getting 2 new Tesla products, but I'll get into a little bit more about exactly what he said and what we can be expecting from Tesla in the very near future. But first, if you guys are new here, you know what to do. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're up to date on everything I have going out. And also, of course, the algorithm helps me push out videos so you guys see them when they come out. The whole annual shareholders meeting was held. Elon Musk was there. He gave a whole pretty 2-hour, 3-hour, pretty long speech, if you will, where he talked about the future of Tesla, what to expect. He talked about the Tesla robot, which was pretty cool. I'll be touching a little bit more on that. You get to actually see what the robot looks like. But first, we're going to talk about the Tesla Cybertruck because it was promised in 2021 and it didn't come. It was promised in 2022 and it didn't come. We're currently in 2023 and we're finally potentially getting it later this year, in Elon Musk's words. So, I mean, hopefully we're finally able to see what it looks like in person. We're probably going to be seeing more of them on the road, at least over the next couple of months. Maybe really 2024 is when you're going to really see like official large-scale production. But there are some reasonable reasons as to why this car hasn't been around, according to Elon Musk himself. And one of the first ones that I found was really interesting is the fact that, generally speaking, most vehicles are built from the inside out. So you start off with like the engine and the transmission and all of the chassis and all of that. And then you build a body around that, of course, the tires and the suspension and all of that stuff, right? But in the case of this Cybertruck, as it turns out, they're actually starting with an exoskeleton, meaning they're essentially starting from the outside in, is what I'm at least made to understand. Now, I'm not entirely sure how that's going to look when it comes to the general production, and the nerd in me is like, I wonder how this car is really built. So I think I might actually do like a breakdown video once this car actually hits the market officially. According to Elon Musk, he said that they had to invent new technology in order for them to successfully build this vehicle. Additionally, he also mentioned that there are going to be 2 new products coming out in the near future. So again, with Elon Musk, we know that sometimes he says things that he isn't quite able to follow up on, but when he's as much of an innovator as he is, just from a specifically engineering standpoint, it's something that you find rather commendable that for the most part he's able to live up to. A lot of the things that he has said, especially being one of the pioneers when it comes to electric vehicles, because let's be honest, prior to Tesla, there really weren't too many electric vehicles, at least not large scale electric vehicles. Maybe you could say like the Nissan Leaf, but who is really buying those, you know? But those 2 new products that he's coming out with are probably something to be looking out for in the near future. As more info comes out, best believe this is the place to be because I'll be covering that information specifically. So of course, additionally, this is the Tesla robot and this is what it looks like and all the features that it can do. So I'm just going to play this brief video so you guys can check it all out. It could potentially be used for large-scale production. Maybe it's going to replace people on the assembly line, or at least aid in production of large-scale vehicles in general. And it could potentially also be used for personal use. It's a little bit weird because of like when you hear about AI and how that's evolving so quickly, I think that if you put AI into these robots, that could be a little bit sketchy. I don't know, maybe I watch too many sci-fi movies, but I always think about like robots taking over the world and whatnot. But it is something to be, I wouldn't say worried, I wouldn't even say concerned, but I'm definitely curious, maybe mindful about. But again, more info to find out in the near future when it comes to that. And so lastly, we're going to talk about full self-driving because Tesla, of course they call it FSD, which is full self-driving. However, it's not quite full, so it's just driving with a little bit, I guess you could say, like with a decent amount of autonomy added to it. However, when you talk about autonomous driving and you're talking about being able to get in your car, get in your seat, and the car fully drives itself, you would assume that that's exactly what they mean. And there's a potential that, according to Elon Musk, that's potentially what we could be seeing in the near future. And the reason why I say potentially so many times is because, again, we don't know what to expect, because there's a lot of promises that haven't been met, so on and so forth. But with full self-driving, we do see a lot of technology when it comes to sensors being able to read traffic, whether it be people crossing the road and the car slows down on its own, whether it be a situation where it notices red lights and it stops and then turns green and the car goes on its own. We're at the point now where the car can drive itself on a highway, and for the most part it can also drive itself down some back roads here and there. But I'm curious to find out where it's going to end, or really when we're going to be getting full self-driving. But according to Elon Musk, potentially the near future. So again, something also to be finding out over the course of, well, the next few months to years. But I'm curious to see what you guys think about this car, what you think about full self-driving, about the robots, about everything else I've talked about, the Tesla Cybertruck, the two products that are coming out sometime soon. Let me know in the comments below. That's all for this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.